let's talk about navigating tomorrow's business landscape. Our next case study will be looking at the crucial connection between future business and sustainability. Please welcome to stage Group Sustainability Executive at the Spar Group Limited, Kevin O'Brien.
Right, good afternoon, everyone. I think I might just take a step back from some very highly charged discussions today and at a level that is, and the detail of it, which is obviously really, really important. So Simon Sinek, I just want to start with a quote from him where he says, "True strength lies in the courage to admit our weaknesses." So the crucial connection between it's a great privilege, for Spar to be involved with this conference, so thank you very much, and for me to have an opportunity to present to you today. The crucial connection between future business and sustainability is indeed a weighty topic. Weighty if it's taken seriously by business, and insignificant if flirted with by business. Business, civil society, and government are key players in the future of society. Collaboration between these three players is critical to the sustainability of our environment and our society. Collaboration is such an easy word to say. Many of us use it. However, it is one of the most difficult processes to engage in. Difficult because business, society, and government do not trust each other. Without mutual respect and trust, there can be no meaningful collaboration, and therefore there can be no meaningful future for society. I'm going to be using Spar as my case study, and the slides that I will show you contain examples of what Spar is doing under the heading of ESG. I do not intend to talk about the detail on the slides. However, I will talk about the critical thinking that is needed to activate change in business to ensure a sustainable future for business. The biggest shift of for an operationally focused business is to broaden its thinking and to reevaluate its purpose. Sorry, I was going to go back there. To evaluate its purpose. Purpose-driven organizations are more strategically focused, and sustainability thinking is a strategic thought process. Similarly, culture is an important ingredient in driving sustainable change. ESG factors, which make up the suite of monitoring of sustainability thinking in business, cannot be pursued in a silo called ESG. Sustainability thinking needs to become embedded in the business so that business changes the way it does business. This is why culture is so very important. Professor Mervyn King, who we all know, the architect of corporate governance in South Africa, has said on numerous occasions that many people believe that shareholders own the company. They do not. They own shares in the company. A company is a juristic person and cannot think for itself. Therefore, the board and the management of a company have a duty of care over that company. The duty of care should be exercised in a way that ensures that the company delivers on its purpose for the benefit of all its stakeholders. The shareholder supremacy model stands in the way of a company delivering on its purpose, unless its purpose is solely to make shareholders rich. The value of sustainability thinking is found in delivering on this duty of care via collaboration, even with competitors. The issues that face our society are often too big and complex to resolve on our own. Hence the need for meaningful collaboration that results in the creation of value in the system and an improvement in the entire system. Addressing these issues should not be a competitive matter. It should be driven by value creation and not value extraction. The S element of ESG provides the soul that sustainable thinking needs to keep itself real and focused. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are fundamental to a strong S, Social justice provides business with the opportunity to create value by allowing all people to be part of setting the agenda in business. Understanding people's differences is frankly not good enough. We need to respect people's differences before we are able to move away from a very linear view of business and the world and embrace a systems view of the world, where the challenge is to improve the system, thereby creating value for all. Spar's rural hub farming business is an example of an attempt to develop a sustainable business that understanding that its sustainability lies in system improvement. The following are key examples of this thinking in the rural hub business. It's not a CSI project. And in my personal opinion, CSI is merely guilt money of the rich for the poor. And no brand or collection of brands has enough money to solve the issues facing our society. Secondly, it has a purpose. This business has a purpose, which is to create sustainable and inclusive agricultural systems in Southern Africa. Thirdly, Spar guarantees a price to the farmer. Fourthly, Spar does not only sell the product to Spar stores, it sells it to the market and, yes, to the opposition. And fifthly, grant funding is phased out of a business model. These models can't survive on grant funding, or shouldn't survive on grant funding. Period poverty, mental wellness, dignity, gender-based violence, environment, and economic inequality provide an interesting and challenging mix of big societal issues to address. Gender-based violence is a pandemic, and it interests me as to why we are not dealing with this pandemic in the same way as we dealt with COVID. And that's in terms of the Disaster Management Act and the implementation of numerous protocols to keep people safe in society and in the workplace. Addressing period poverty, mental wellness, and gender-based violence should not be a competition as to who's doing the most. The issues are far too big to address on our own. This is an opportunity for meaningful and impactful collaboration between business, government, and society. This is inclusive of collaboration between competitors. As I've said before, it should not be seen as a competition to address big societal issues. The work Spar has done in partnering with Leafline to provide market access to this incredible reusable sanitary pad made from pineapple fibers is an example of the collaboration that is needed to make an impact. Scaling up this business and other businesses should be seen as an opportunity to create value and contribute meaningfully to systems change. And incidentally, Spar does not intend to co-brand this product. Governance and compliance provide a further opportunity for collaboration within the system we operate in. Governance and compliance that is considered a tick box exercise is dangerous for the long-term sustainability of business. Ethical, transparent, and good citizenship needs to become part of the culture of business. When you dig beneath what is being said, you should find the purpose behind what is being done. A purpose is not opportunistic or simply good dinner time and conference talk. It lies at the very core of every decision that a business makes. Spar's Food Safety Small Supplier Development Program is available for any small-scale supplier that meets the requirements of participation. These small suppliers do not only have to be supplying independent Spar stores to qualify. Any supplier can become involved. The purpose behind this is to ensure that everyone's human right to safe food is being addressed. The environment of safe food is highly regulated and costly. Spar has collaborated with service providers to provide reduced rates for small suppliers to reach compliance. And out of interest, there are 3 suppliers who've gone through our food safety supplier development program who are now within an opposition supply chain. And that's okay. They don't supply us. Carbon net zero by 2050. We've heard a lot this morning. Conversion to renewable energy sources, biodiversity protection, water protection, reduction of food waste, plastic removal, recycling, circular economy, and other environmental commitments are spoken about regularly. But what are the chances of us really meeting the commitments we have made in this regard? Once again, for a single business to believe that it will be able to meet the targets they set while operating on their own are living in a dream world. Reducing our impact on the environment is once again not a competitive thing. It should be something that we all collaborate on to ensure that our country and the world can meet the targets. Spar becoming net zero by 2050 on its own is useless to the survival of our society and our planet. Spar, or any brand for that matter, is not the world, no matter how important or powerful we might think we are. Furthermore, being driven by science-based targets in South African business without considering the societal importance of a just transition will once again be an unmitigated failure for society, because we would have once again transitioned out of a crisis and left more people behind. A just transition approach to reducing our impact on the environment is the place where value creation starts. Transitioning towards a low-carbon economy creates the opportunity for jobs to be created that we have not ever contemplated before. In conclusion, I'd like to reflect a little on the challenges that face all of us as we strive to make the connection between future business and sustainability. Excuse me for a moment, please. The biggest challenge lies in the appetite we have as a business and as a society for the economic system change that is needed to tackle the exceptionally challenging task of a future-fit society and a sustainable business. The problems we face in society, government, and business are tied up in a legacy of entitlement, power, self-serving leadership, and a lack of respect for each other and our planet. This has manifested itself in deep divisions in our society based on financial, racial, gender, religious, geographical, spatial, and other bases. Transitioning as a business is as significant as transitioning as a society and transitioning as a government. What is our collective purpose? What are our collective values? And importantly, are we prepared to enter discussions without a preconceived idea of what we want out of them? Or are we prepared to enter discussions with an open mind to the outcome? In this way, we truly live by the values that are needed to unlock all the potential in our business, our society, and government, and thereby transition into a world where everyone lives well. Leading for a sustainable future calls for leaders who are guided by their personal purpose, values, and ethics to better society, and who can use their principles to build purposeful organizations that share this vision and are geared towards its realization. Leading in this way involves having the courage, the confidence, and resilience to engage in new ways of thinking, exploring new strategies and approaches, to driving change and remaining committed in the face of challenges and failures. These types of leaders can set aside their egos and empower collaborative approaches to change by listening with empathy, connecting with others through open communication, and creating opportunities for diverse perspectives to continue to contribute meaningfully to change efforts. They are able to recognize that no individual alone can drive change on complex societal issues. As such, change requires collective solutions that reflect a nuanced understanding of the interconnectedness between humans and the environment. I'd like to leave you with an example that will hopefully explain the significant challenges that we have when it comes to understanding the crucial connection between future business and sustainability. Spar is obviously in the food business and sells food to independent retailers who on-sell to the consumer. As part of store growth plans, consideration is given to new areas where stores can be opened. Consideration is given to informal areas. I'm not too sure who decided what is formal and informal, but I'll go with informal just for this reflection. A decision is then made to build a store in this informal area based on an analysis of the income spent in the area and, of course, There is the motivation that the store will provide employment for communities around the store, and it will be a place where consumers in the area will be able to shop and be proud of. However, what is not considered is the impact this will have on economic activity that has been going on in that area and on the very piece of ground where the store will be for many years, and that economic activity has provided families with the income to build their lives. The economic activity has stayed in the community. The erection of the new store will merely extract value from that area, not create value. We need to alter our approach in areas like this. We need to understand the system that is operating in these areas and then collaborate on on how we are able to be part of improving that system. By extracting value, we are the only significant beneficiaries of that new store, and we have possibly destroyed lives in the process. So at Spar, we try our very best to be committed to meaningful, constructive, and transparent collaboration with all parties, as we know that we are not able to remain a sustainable business in South Africa if we don't. Thank you very much.